At the bottom of the farm by the creek, there is a huge avocado tree that reaches so far above. It's avocado season and this is my favorite tree ever. It's one of the oldest avocados on the farm. It's so tall and all the fruit are up the top this season. So I've got the big long picker and I'm gonna pick them. This tree was planted by our grandparents over 60 years ago. And now, every time I climb it, I imagine all those who did before. The many footsteps before me also finding the crevices in this very branch. I picture myself as a child climbing up this tree, how I've inadvertently memorized the climb, how you reach and twist and turn in this almost dance until your feet find their way along the worn bark. Out to the far end where most avocados are. That's the most beautiful avocado I've ever seen. From here, you can see across the kiwi patch, over to the peach tree, the mulberries, the macadamias and the pecans. If you look far across to the bottom of the hill, you can see bright oranges sparkling in the morning light. That tree is 100 years old, and it reminds me of the endless gifts of nature. I like to think that I still hold a lot of my childlike innocence and joy, but now, as I look across the fruit trees, there's something a little less magic and a little more responsibility. The kiwi orchard is falling down because the trellises aren't strong enough, the weeds need brush cutting, and the avocados are starting to get eaten by flying foxes. Though up in the rustling leaves of this tree planted by the generations before, I remember the privilege of this responsibility, of the honour of caretaking the land, and of how much the land actually cares for me. I love avocado season so much. This season there hasn't been as many, or maybe I just haven't got here enough, but there's a few bug marks on these ones, but they'll be delicious anyway. Alright, we're gonna go for a walk. Come on, Monkey. Come on. This week I am so excited because we are finally designing the LED lights for these doors and it's going to be so beautiful. If you've been watching along on this secret renovation series, then I've been renovating this whole place and this is the last and final step, and it's also the most exciting step. It's been what I've been building for this whole time. I've just been imagining these LED light doors the whole time I'm doing all the boring jobs and thinking, well, that's still to come and that's going to be so much fun. So first up, we have to design the panels, and designing LED light is quite hard, I think, because you've got to really make sure that all of the glass fits in a certain way. Glass is quite a complex thing. You've got to cut it, you've got to then let it together. I don't know, I'm going to learn all these things, but it's like you use real lead for it. So Mum's going to teach me and we're going to do it together and I'm really excited. But the first step is to make a design for these panels and see what's going to work in here. We need to decide on the design. So we're starting out by drawing up the design full scale, with lots of help from Clover, who has no idea what we're doing but wants to be involved.
Oh, that was just the measurements.
I love that. I love this more though.
That's so beautiful.
I actually first did some digital drawing, sketching up the figures that fit within the glass of the door. It's quite complex to make shapes that intersect without making hard cuts for us in the glass later.
So Mum likes this one better. Chagall what? I'm sorry, why is my chagall in your section?
Mum put it back in the wrong spot. It wasn't me. So the three of us are trying to design something that fits in these antique doors, is visually beautiful, can be made from scrap glass that Mum has left over from her old designs, and is easy enough for us to achieve but beautiful enough to honour the space. We always have a habit of signing up for a lot of work, and this is definitely one of those situations. But it's so fun designing all together, and I can't wait for these designs to become a reality and to learn from all the skills of our mum. At this point, we started looking at all of the colours of the glass we have, so that we can design around the patchwork of colour and really utilise all the little pieces of glass.
snakes. You could do snake motifs, and this is the snaky studio.
Oh.
Julia drew a beautiful snake design where women were holding up snakes for the studio, which feels very fitting to this place, where there's often a snake slithering by, and it also holds a lot of symbolic meaning for us. I sketched it up digitally, experimenting with how all the shapes would fit in together. Each line will be a piece of lead, and each block of colour will be a piece of glass, so you have to really keep all of this in mind when designing. It's funny because neither Julia or I have ever lead lighted before, so we're really just guessing everything, and then asking Mum if the designs will work. Mum, who hasn't lead lighted for 20 years, should probably be encouraging a simple, easy project. But as it seems to be a habit for our family, she would prefer experiment with a complex project first, just to make things extra hard and extra fun. We keep asking her if a design will work, and she says, "Oh, this looks boring, let's do something harder." I love this habit though, even though we often get overwhelmed by all of the work we sign up for, we always manage to have fun and learn a lot along the way. Finally, we were happy with the design and ready to start sketching it up on paper to see what it'll look like to scale. This is just a really rough sketch, but it feels important to understand the artwork in the space, so we're mocking it up and testing it against the doors.
Another day, and today I'm finishing up sketching everything up to size. It's taken us so long to decide on the design, but after so much sketching and then transferring our ideas to the exact dimensions we needed and then making sure all the shapes will actually work together when they're cut out of glass, and then held together by cames of lead, I think we're finally ready. I'm kind of scared to get into the real thing. I don't know what this is going to involve, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All of the glass is dusty because it's been stored for so many years. Mum was once a really skilled lead lighter and made so many beautiful designs, but in the last 20 years she's been so busy with farm work and with raising kids and life that she hasn't been creating. But this week she's getting back into it. We're dusting off all of her old supplies and I'm so excited to learn from her. Sorting all of her old glass is a beautiful job. We've made a rainbow of colours. A lot of this glass is very antique, so it catches the light in beautiful ways. The colours are deep and bright, and those colours that you don't see much in modern architecture or design. This is when we realised just how hard it would be to choose a colour scheme. All of the colours are so beautiful, but they're also quite hard to match in with each other. And sometimes there's only small pieces of each.
Yeah.
Try and hold that one up.
Yeah.
What I'm struggling with the most is you have to really separate the forms so that there aren't pieces that have spikes or that have curves in the directions you don't want them, because you have to cut them out of glass. And so you have to really separate all of the shapes in the image that you want to make. So you have to use like vectors and lines in all these different ways and intersect the form. Quite complicated. Like it's a lot to catch up with your brain, because it's just like you have a drawing that you want to put down on a piece of paper and you have to think, no, it's not a drawing. It's made out of glass, which is fragile and hard to cut. And so you have to have all of the intersections in the right places, otherwise it's not going to work. So I hope this will work. Oh, but no, these are going to be separated.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I like these like 70s.
Yeah, and I think we'd do them. Yes.
I think this is really cool. Like being all yellow.
Yes.
It's perfect.
And then moon.
It's perfect. Oh my god.
We have a lot of work next week when we finally start lead lighting the panels of glass, but this week we're just trying to decide on colour scheme and we cannot decide. We're either thinking the golden kind of glowy, all shades of yellow and orange, or we're thinking kind of pastels and different like pinks and greens and different colours like that. It's so hard to decide which one's going to suit this room better, so please help us decide. Do you think the yellow glowy ones or the pastel ones? Glowy, pastel. Glowy, pastel. Which one? I can't decide. They're both gonna look so beautiful in here, so it's such a hard decision to make. Also, don't forget that if you like Julia's paintings and would like one hanging in your own home, we have prints of each of her artwork. So if you like this one or this beautiful big one behind me, they're all available as prints on our website, and you can go on there and you can get free shipping in most countries for every product. To learn more, follow the link in our description. So last week I made a pulley system for my bananas and it didn't work. It didn't pull like a pulley is supposed to. It was completely stuck, and I realize now, with thanks to you guys and also just sitting back for a moment to think about all of the decisions that I've made, and realizing that the pulley system that I used, that I found in the shed, is completely rusted, so it doesn't turn, and that's what pulleys do. I kind of assumed just the rope would be able to flow through it, but that's not how pulleys work. So this week I've decided to fix my pulley, and I can't believe it, but Mum had this stored away, which is a much better pulley. It's still beautiful and old-fashioned, but it actually spins, and that's what pulleys are supposed to do. So I'm gonna replace this pulley with this pulley. This is only a singular pulley, this one's a double, and I think with physics it works so that you're only pulling like 1/3 of the weight or something. I don't know. Some sort of things if you've got the two, but if you've got one it will be harder, but that's okay because this one actually works, so I will be able to pull with it. With the amount of work that I've done to take these bananas up and down, the pulley doesn't even need to exist. I would have been better off just lifting them. But this is for future bananas. I think if I knew how much work this pulley system was going to be, I might not have started this project. It's been a lot, but I'm really excited because I think it's going to be really good to be able to get my bananas up high and away from everything, and they look so cute here, and it's such a beautiful old tool, so I'm excited to use it. And I also just keep thinking about all of the cool systems for bananas that were in this valley all those years ago, and in this valley there were people farming bananas that had flying foxes that the bananas would come down, and they had all of these pulleys and different tools, and I keep thinking about that. I'm like, okay, I can do this simple pulley then. If they could do that, I can do this. That looks better already. I've definitely made this pulley a lot more simple than the last one. It's just one turning mechanism up there, and then it's got a knot on the end. I will tie the bananas to the knot, and hopefully I'll be able to lift the bunch up. Hopefully the weight won't be too much because I don't have the whole pulley system in place. I mean, to be honest, this bunch of bananas isn't actually that heavy, but I do have some bunches sometimes that are like way too heavy for me to carry, so this is kind of for that. Okay. That's so easy, you're kidding me! No way! I can take that right up if I want to. This is so much better than the last pulley. Wow! Okay, pulleys are supposed to spin. That is a life lesson that I have learned. So my last step for this pulley is to have something to hook it into the wall. So I found this little like horseshoe nail. No, it's not a horseshoe nail. I don't know, U-nail? I don't know what it's called. A bendy nail that's got two nails on either end. And I'm gonna put it in here maybe so that I can then tie this up. I wonder where is the best angle? I think it's nice to go quite high so that the rope's out of the way. Is that hard? Maybe there. Oh no! This is my technique. I want to make this nail like wider, so I've got two hammers. This feels illegal to have. Oh! Look, it's kind of wider now. I think it worked. And that fits now. I don't know what the best technique to cut rope with is. I don't have any scissors big enough, so I've got a rusty old saw, and that's gonna have to do. Maybe it will. Saw is proving very difficult. I'm gonna try scissors. Okay, I broke the scissors, so I'm trying a knife. Oh, that's working! I should have done that originally. I'll hang it there. That looks so good! I'm so proud! I can't believe it was that simple the whole time, just the pulley wasn't moving. Yay! So last week we had a competition on seeing who could guess the right amount of bananas on this bunch of bananas, and I'm just gonna count them now and then I'm gonna find the lucky winner who got it right first. This is gonna take a while. 1, 2, 3. There are 163 bananas on this bunch, which is so many. I didn't expect there to be that many. I was thinking like low hundreds, but 163. I'm so proud of myself for growing this banana. It is falling down, but I'm still proud of myself. And I'm proud of whoever guessed it right first. I will go through your comments and find the first person that got it right now and send you a message, and you'll be receiving your free print soon. Thank you so much to everyone who entered. It means so much to us to read your comments, hear your stories, and see your faces. It just means the world to us to understand the audience and the community here. It means a lot, so thank you, and sorry if you didn't win. But you can purchase a print on our website, and there's free shipping worldwide on the unframed prints, and then on the framed prints there's free shipping in the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand and Europe. So thank you so much to everyone, and a big thank you to our patrons for your support on our journey. It means so much to us.
What I do not need, told me nothing to me now.